$9 billion of assets, and he paid no estate taxes. Zero. Just to compare a little bit, in 2008, when the last one we have statistics for, there were 5,500 people, 5,500 people actually did pay some estate taxes, and the government raised $25 billion from the 5,500 people who did pay estate taxes. That was in 2008. This year, they will collect zero because, as we know, or most people know, that there is no estate tax this year. But I don't know how many times I've talked about this. I almost always get someone saying, the government's not going to allow that to happen. They're just not going to allow this thing to go to zero this year, and then next year start back down at $1 million. It just isn't going to happen. Well, to those who believe that, I guess I ask the question, well, who do you think is going to change that? First of all, if they were going to change it, they probably would have changed it before this year, because this is the year they're getting nothing, and we're halfway through the year, and I get publications from all kinds of insurance stuff, and there's not been one article of anybody proposing any changes to this law. And so what's going to happen is there is no estate tax in 2010, but in 2011, it's going to come roaring back, and anybody who the estate tax is going to start at $1 million. So in my opinion only, is that we aren't going to have the white horse running in and changing the estate tax laws. We are going to go back to where it was. And the reason I believe that is because it's a slam dunk for all politicians. There's no politician today that I know of who wants to go out and say, oh, wait a minute, let's not tax all those millionaires that die. That's not right. No one wants to commit suicide, political suicide that way. And so I believe they're going to go ahead and let it come back the way it was. And I also believe, therefore, that anybody who has a financial planner, in my opinion, is going to need some estate planning because it's back. Now, I don't want to linger on this other than to make the point that I do believe permanent insurance is an answer for estate planning, and I do believe people are going to need to start estate planning and start it soon. 2009, of course, which was last year, the estate tax, and this is a simplification of it, of course, is the first 3.5 million was excluded. Then the estate tax started at 18%, and it grew very quickly, and it got up to the maximum of 45% when you got up to an excess of $1 million, or when your total was 4.5 million. This year, 2010, zero. 2011, which now is about 7 months away, it's going to be excludes only the first 1 million. It starts out at 18%, but it grows. It continues to grow. It goes back up to 55% when the excess is 3 million.